Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Aisha Meha. Thank you so much for joining me in this presentation. Today, I will be focusing on how we can incorporate the learner-centered teaching approach when we are working and teaching our multilingual students. First and foremost, I wanted to offer you guys an outline so you guys have a better idea of what this presentation will be about and the direction that we are headed. So what is the learner-centered approach? It's definitely the opposite of the teacher-centered approach. I myself grew up in the teacher-centered approach where my teacher was standing in front of the blackboard and us students were sitting down and we just had to absorb all this knowledge, information thrown at us. The learner-centered approach is the opposite of that. The student is the star and is the center of this learning. Through this approach, it is encouraged that through participation in the classroom, the student will be able to gather information and create meaning for themselves. The approach also includes that through the new knowledge the student grasps, it's actually contributed to them through the various activities that will be offered from the teacher. What I really appreciate about this approach is that it has goals. It has goals for the teachers and the students themselves. So for the teachers, the goal of this approach, that is encouraged with this approach, is that teachers will play an active role in being these knowledge creators. They will focus on providing strategies and discovering activities that will increase students' output and creativity. Another goal teachers have that is encouraged by this approach is to better understand their students. And within this goal itself, teachers have like many sub goals in them, I want to say. And they include, for instance, a goal to better understanding the past and current level of language proficiency. They will have a goal that will include getting to know not only the students, but their families and culture and background. As for the students, this approach has goals that will be encouraging teachers to offer lessons that support and encourage knowledge of their background, their native language and culture. Another goal for students through this approach is to help students make connections between the classroom content of what they're learning and connect it with their own lives. Another goal of this approach is to encourage, and mostly it stresses this a lot, to have students become engaged through offering them activities and through their research and through their projects. How to incorporate the learner-centered approach into your classroom it can be done in multiple ways. I personally feel that these four strategies are most relevant. These strategies include: 1, fostering a welcoming classroom. 2, getting to know students. 3, welcome students' language and culture. 4, assessments and activities. I don't know why, but as I was focusing on these strategies and I was writing these down, I couldn't help but think of Joey from Friends. I don't know how many of you are fans of the show, but Joey throughout the show is often shown greeting himself through saying, "How you doing?" So call me silly, but I thought this was a very, fun way to kind of remind ourselves of these strategies. How focuses on how are we going to foster a welcoming classroom. You focuses on how we're going to getting to know our students. And while we're doing this, we have to continuously remind our students that you, the student, are important. We care about you. And the doing really focuses on the action part of these strategies, which accounts what are we going to do about how we welcome students' language and culture, or what are we doing and what in activities and assessment are we incorporating in our classroom. So the first strategy that I think is really important is fostering a welcoming classroom. Multilingual students, when they're prior to walking into your classroom, we have to remember that they're coming into a new classroom that's in a new country, perhaps, and with a new culture and a new language. That is very overwhelming, and that will have students experience so many emotions. And we have to ensure that when these students, our multilingual students, are coming into our classroom, that they feel welcomed, And we have to remind ourselves that we have to foster an atmosphere that is warm, and warm will transpire to them being welcomed. When a student feels welcomed, they will begin to feel comfortable. And when they're comfortable, they will be beginning to feel a sense of belonging. And with these, students will then show an increase in self-confidence and class participation. There's multiple ways we can go about how to ensure the students are feeling welcome into our classroom. One way can be done, what can be done is offering games and activities. For instance, in the beginning of the school year, we can offer an activity where students can interview each other. This will break the ice for many, and it will encourage students to get to know each other, form a sense of welcoming, and provide support to one another. The second strategy is getting to know your students. This is really important and critical because once we get to know our students, we can then successfully be able to create and structure our lessons and then come up with the activities we want to incorporate into our teachings. And how we get to know our students can again be done in multiple ways. The first step I really encourage is to know how to pronounce your student's name correctly. Honor, recognize, and appreciate their names. Their names are their identity. I strongly emphasize on this and encourage for everybody to take the moment to learn how to pronounce your student's name. Do not nickname them unless they ask you to. Do not question their name. Do not make students feel uncomfortable for having such a unique name. Just honor it, recognize it, and appreciate it. This is the first step we can take into building a relationship with our students, which is the second bullet, which is build relationships. This can be done by getting to know our students and their families. We can schedule a meeting to get to know students and their families. Maybe perhaps we'll gather more information about our student through that. The second one is ask questions. Ask students questions about their likes and dislikes and interests and strengths. This will contribute to what resources we decide to incorporate or materials to encourage our students to be active in our studies. Last but not least is ensure students know about extra school activities. I came across this and I thought this was really important because I think it's important to ensure that our multilingual students know there's other ways to be involved, and that is outside our school through activities. When students are involved in school activities, they form a stronger sense of belonging, and this will also contribute to building stronger community relationships for them. So I wanted to quickly throw the whole child approach in my presentation because the whole child approach has 5 tenets that I think are very important and can be beneficial and useful for us when we are getting to know our students. The whole child approach has the tenets which include physical and mental health, social development, cognitive development, academic development, and identity development. Oops, sorry. So why I decided to include the whole child approach and in it, how it's beneficial with our emergent bilinguals is because I truthfully believe that when we are getting to know our multilingual students, we have to know them as a whole. We have to gather as much information as we can about them. And this can be done through learning about their physical and mental health, the cognitive development, which essentially are the tenets that are that establish the whole child approach. And through all this information we build and gather about our child, and then we'll be able to really successfully determine how we will structure our lessons, again, and the activities that we'll include. I think the whole child approach really provides us as an outline and different avenues and factors we can take into consideration and how we can better know our students. And I also really think the whole child approach really honors adapting and better understanding our students' linguistic and culture practices. I think this is wonderful. The third strategy is welcoming language and culture. This is the doing part. So this slide really focuses on what we were doing on how we welcome the students' language and culture. First, we can start by inviting students' language and culture. This can be done by offering students to perhaps on Flag Day getting to given the opportunity to get dressed in their traditional clothing. Another way what we can do is when we're teaching a lesson, we can invite students, multilingual students, to include a vocabulary or a phrase from their culture. For instance, if we're teaching students about apples, we can ask, for example, a native Albanian speaker, how do you say apple in Albanian? And they can jump in and invite them and say mola. Again, that's a form of and a way of how we can invite the students' language in our classroom. Discovering resources and reading materials in students' native language or a material that represents the child and their interests is also very useful in capturing students' attention and having them be involved. I think this is really important in providing materials to them that, again, will encourage them to learn and be participants in our classroom. Last but not least is ensuring students see themselves reflected in the classroom. This can be done by, hanging up posters or pictures, or even asking students to bring in an item from their culture to displaying in the classroom. So before we jump into the last strategy, which is the assessments and activities that can be incorporated in our lessons, I wanted to throw this chart onto this presentation, and this was directly pulled from the Freeman and Freeman ESL teaching textbook that is provided in our EL methods class. I personally found this chart very helpful when learning about the different types of English learners there are. I think for many, when they hear the word multilingual students or emerging bilinguals, they might be overwhelmed. So I think this chart really narrows it down and helping us understand where our children may fall into. And once we kind of have this idea, again, this is only done after we gather all the information we know about them. And so once we are able to see where they perhaps fall into, then we can go ahead and successfully structure our lessons and decide on what activities we can include to meet their levels. So these are the assessments and activities that can be included, On the right are the activities, but I also wanted to include on here that these activities really are all about encouraging students' participation. So because that, again, is how students learn, and that is the whole goal of the learner-centered teaching approach. I also wanted to note on here, assigning a buddy is another form of great strategy. I think when you provide students a multilingual student a buddy, they not only get that social interaction aspect, but they also develop a sense of comfort, and they somebody else that they can rely on and seek to for guidance. Usually somebody that's a buddy is usually someone of the same native language of the student. If you are unable to find somebody with that native language, perhaps you could ask students around the classroom who wants to participate. Also, always take the time to explain expectation and procedures to students. On the right, again, are some activities that you can incorporate, such as questions, provide visualization, fill in blanks activity sentences, label and sequencing stories, exit tips, where you can ask students to include, I want to know more, or I think of. Again, while you're offering these assignments to students, you can also allow them to draw out what they want to say if they don't have the proficiency yet to write it. Again, I wanted to throw on there just brain breaks, because I think this is really important to remind us to always allow our students a moment or two to refocus and recuperate. When you're learning a new language and a lot of new information, it can be overwhelming. So it is really important to provide students a moment to just breathe. And this can be offered in many ways, such as breathing techniques or dance breaks, or even allowing students a moment to really conversate amongst one another. All right, so thank you guys so much. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below. I'm so sorry I had to talk so fast during this presentation. Just had so much to say in such little time. Again, so thank you guys for joining.